Hello everyone, it's Wave Theory back again with another video review of a piece of audio gear. And today we're going to take a look at, in video form, a piece that I reviewed in writing back in December 2020, I think, is when that was published. And this video is being shot in mid-September 2021. So it's been a while, and that piece is the Schiit Magnius headphone amplifier. All right, this piece retails for $199 US direct from Schiit's website, and I will put the link to that down below, as well as the link to my written review of this. So I've had this in-house now for quite a while, okay, as that time frame that I just talked about indicates, and mixed feelings on this amp. Here's the thing. I don't listen to this one very much. Now, some of that is, yes, because I have other high-end pieces around that just sound better and they cost a lot more money. But even when I need to reach for budget gear or more budget enthusiast gear, I don't reach for this one very often. I keep it around as a reference for a type of sound, but it's not something I choose to listen to very often. What this is one of those, and there's a bunch of them out there right now, is one of those high feedback op-amp based headphone amplifiers that are chasing measurements. And measurements it has is like, 120-ish decibel synad, vanishingly low distortion, all of those kinds of things. This amp right here is probably the best amplifier of that type that I have heard. It has the most natural timbre in that class. It has some of the best power delivery I've heard in that class, even though it comes with this generic external wall wart power supply that you plug in. It has some pretty good power delivery in the low end. Like a lot of those op-amp based amplifiers that I've heard, particularly the lower priced ones, they just really struggle to deliver power below 100 hertz. And this one does pretty well with that. The issue that I have with it, despite the fact that I would argue that it's overall, when you look at the whole range of technicalities, probably the best sounding measurement chaser, under $300-ish, probably in that range, is that it is one of those high feedback op-amp based measurement chasers. And so far, to my ear, those have been very limiting in terms of sounding natural, okay, and sounding like the real thing. In other words, I hear drums through this. To me, they don't sound as much like drums as you can get for a different kind of amp tech at this price point. When I hear voices, they don't sound like real voices to the extent that is possible to pull off at this price point with a different kind of amplifier. Okay, same is true in cymbal crashes, and probably the higher the frequency gets, like the less control this starts to exert there. Like this will make my Beyer DT880 600 ohm go really sharp in the treble more often than its same company was the same price and is now a little bit more expensive, but the Asgard 3, also from Schiit, which is a high bias class AB type amplifier. Like, this is not as resolving as the Asgard. It does not have the timbre or the dynamic impact of the Asgard. It does not have the spatial chops, like the soundstage and the imaging, and that, trying to create a holographic spatial presentation of the Asgard 3. So very mixed feelings on this product. To my ear, of the ones that I have heard, and I've heard like what's that SMSL THX amp that was out there for, the SP200. Like, I owned the SP200 for a while. I've heard 2 or 3 different topping amps for under $300 now, like the A50S and the L30 for sure. I've heard the Geshelli Labs Arkel2 GMR, which I actually really liked that one too for what it was, but I think this one just a little bit sweeter sounding than that at times. Okay, best example, I think, of the kind of amp that this is but I think that the kind of amp that this is inherently limited. So I applaud Schiit for doing what they have done with this and making it as good as it is. But in terms of, if you were to ask me, what's the best sounding, most natural, lifelike sounding amplifier that you can get around $200, I'm not going to recommend this one. I would tell you, look at its brother model, the Asgard 3, or something like that. So if you want more thoughts about the build quality and the ergonomics and just more details and all that, as well as a very thorough comparison of a bunch of what were all under $200 amps at the time that it was written, I will link to all of that. I have a pretty detailed comparison of 6 budget enthusiast / entry level headphone amps that you can read to and get more detailed thoughts on this. Okay, but there it is, a quick highlight video of the Schiit Magnius. I am Wave Theory. I have been reviewing audio gear in written form for over a year now, and so I will post a link to my review library down below this video as well. And so please like, subscribe to my channel, and do all of those things that you do for YouTube videos. So thanks for listening, and until next time, I am Wave Theory, and enjoy the music.